What's good, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. CDK, and this is Sports Talk Network. Y'all know what it is, man. We live in living color. It's a beautiful day, and I'm here to play. A lot of things going on right now. We're hearing a lot of different conversations, but like I said, don't let a roach and hair grease make you forget about what Gary Antuanne Russell did. Now we're gonna definitely get into Gary Antuanne Russell, and there's so much to talk about, man. It seems like with this tank saga, it doesn't end. It continues to go on and on. We are hearing different stories now. It seems like the New York Athletic Commission is coming forward and talking about they're investigating the fight, and as well as they're talking about overturning the decision of the fight. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about that. Uh, I want to see a rematch, but I don't want to see the fight overturned. I think that that's going too far, and the reason I say that is this: if anybody should be penalized, it should be the referee. It definitely should be the referee. It should not be Javante Tank Davis. It should not be Lamont Roach. What happened that night should, you know what I'm saying, let it stay that way. But the referee made a decision, and you're gonna only do what the referee allow you to do. Now, the referee allowed for Javante Tank Davis to be able to, you know what I'm saying, take a knee. He allowed for Javante Tank Davis to be able to get a towel. So why should we be mad at Tank, you know what I'm saying, or his team? New York needs to really look at the referee. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting tired of situations like this happening. You know what I'm saying? That New York, they've been doing what they've been doing. We've seen what they've done with the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney situation, and rightfully so. There was a moment where a man was taking, you know what I'm saying, performance enhancing substances. But this is a different situation now, a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be, you know what I'm saying, too mad at the situation with Tank, man. I'm tired of hearing, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their opinion of who they think won. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody feels like, one second, please, one second. Everybody feel a certain way. Like I said, I don't have a problem with a rematch, but I don't want to see anybody deciding what they're gonna do as far as taking or giving Tank a loss. I don't want to see that. Let them get back in there and fight again. Let's do it again and let's see what happens. I think that's the only way this problem gonna be solved. And then it seems like Tank is feeling the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank was ready to move on and do something else. You know what I'm saying? Or at least his team had it looking that way. His team made it seem like he wanted to do something different. But Tank has decided, he just came out and said, Lamont Roach, fight me in May. So I definitely believe the fight is going to happen. And, Lamont Roach and his team, I'm hearing they're trying to get New York to protest this decision and trying to get him to overturn it. But do you really want it like that? I mean, if you're Lamont Roach, do you really want to win like that? I thought it was an excellent fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, either way you chose to pick that fight is okay with me. But, they always say you have to beat the champion. It's not like I heard one person said Tank got beat to death. No, he did not. It's not like Lamont Roach was beating Tank to death. It was a close contested fight. And, we said, in the old days, you had to really beat the champion. So I just want to see it again. Lamont Roach, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you can go back and look at the fight and say you can do more. Javante Tank Davis, maybe he can go back and look at the fight and say, well, I know what I need to change. I think, man, one thing I noticed with that fight, something that I really had never seen, was the way that we know Lamont Roach is a great counterpuncher. That's what he's known for. He's known for being a great counterpuncher. And, man, he was counterpuncher. And I believe, man, that right there, you know what I'm saying, Tank's going to have to make a lot of adjustments. I also believe, man, just my personal opinion, I don't know how much time, we all know he's been with Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter's been around, you know what I'm saying? But still, being the lead coach in your corner, I'm used to Tank being with Coach Kenny. I'm used to Tank being with, Calvin. So I think he needs to go back to that formula. I think that they need to be in his corner. I think they need to be with him from start to finish as far as training goes. And we need to see where it goes from there. I think in the end, that's what it all boils down to. And I think, man, also, Tank got to put that friendship behind him, and he got to go out there, man, and take on this challenge, man. Sometimes you got to let go of friendship. This is the hurt business. Once we step inside that square circle, man, all the friendship goes out the door. You here to hurt me, I'm here to hurt you, and we'll worry about it at the end of the night. You understand what I'm saying? So I definitely want to see it. I'm hearing about the pay-per-view buys. They're saying, reported 800,000, man. If that's so, man, that is a phenomenal night. You know what I'm saying? And it tells you the star power of Tank. And if it done 800,000 to, you know what I'm saying, last Saturday, if that fight done 800,000, the rematch in May could do 1 million. I mean, and those are, man, gigantic number in these times, man. It's hard to get that. You think about it, 800,000, man. You know what I'm saying? To get the 800,000 pay-per-view buys, man, if that's the true number that Tank and Lamont Rose done, that's the equivalent, man, of doing probably 2 million buys, man, from the old days. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what's going on now with all this pirating and people stealing the streams, and you know what I'm saying? It's hard to get those type of pay-per-view numbers. So shout out to Tank, man. You know, the place was sold out. You hear people say all kind of things. So we got to keep it real, man. The only people that beat Tank out was the Rolling Stones. What's good, JG, man, my brother? You always, man, showing love and stopping through, man. And I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate it. Anytime, bro, you want to come on stage and talk, you welcome to hit that button, man, and come up here and speak your piece, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, man. You know what it is. It's all love, and I appreciate you for real, man. No doubt about it. But like I said, man, Tank, you know what I'm saying, with these numbers, if he done 800,000 pay-per-view buys, I'm definitely glad to hear that type of number. And now, like I said, he's saying, May, we're going to do it again. We're going to get it out the way. But he's also threatened New York, and he's told New York if they do overturn the decision, he'll never fight in New York again. Now, some people say that, you know, this New York, they don't really care. They're going to put on cars and do what they do regardless. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't want to see the decision overturned. Salute my brother. You know, it's all love all the time. I definitely don't want to see a fight overturned like that. It would just, for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was picking Tank to win that night, but I don't want to see the fight overturned. You know what I'm saying? I just think there's better ways of handling this situation. Definitely the referee need to be hollered at. We need to see what he was thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. I want to know what he was thinking that night. You know, sometimes you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't pick your referee. But he's done a phenomenal job up until the last few fights. It seems like the last few fights, man, he situations and things do happen. So, you know, hey, maybe he can right his wrong. But I would love to hear from him. Somebody needs to sit him down. That's what people need to be trying to interview. You know, get him. I ain't heard nobody trying to get, you know what I'm saying, talk to him or say anything, you know what I'm saying? But definitely hope that happens, you know what I'm saying? I definitely hope that he does something that tells us what he was thinking, you know what I'm saying? I would like to know. 1 second again, y'all, I'm moving around as far as people are texting me comments and stuff they want to ask me. So I'm just, you know what I'm saying, responding back to people as well. And like I said, man, really I want to talk about Gary Antuanne Russell today and what's next for him and how I don't like the rankings right now. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like the rankings and what I seen. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like the rankings. Now I'm going to look at these rankings. I made sure that I didn't lose. And at the 140-pound division, man, some reason, you know what I'm saying, let me find this again. Because I want to make sure I get it right. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to tell you the wrong ranking. I want to make sure that I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying, what is what. But they had Gary Antuanne Russell kind of down the list. You know what I'm saying? We know what he just done. You know what I'm saying? Using the people are prisoners of the moment. But a lot of time, man, boxing is big business, and we know how it goes when it comes to that. People, man, ain't going to look at you, and they going to, you know, I don't know. It just, I don't like the rankings. I'm not too fond of these rankings right here. And I'm coming up on them now, the junior welterweight division. Now, number one ranked at the junior welterweight division is Teofimo Lopez. His previous ranking was 1. He has a record of 21-1 with 13 KOs. His last win was a unanimous decision over Steve Claggett, June 29th. His next bout is May 2nd with Honor Barboza Jr. A real exciting fight. I can't wait to see that fight, man. It's a 50-50 fight. Honor Barboza is an excellent fighter. I do favor T.O. in that fight. For some reason, man, like I say all the time, it seems like T.O. showed up for those big moments. Just when you think that he's done with or that he's not the same fighter, you put him in there with the right competition, and T.O. will show you who he really is, man. T.O., man, whether you like him or not, of the things he does, that guy's a phenomenal fighter, and you have to give him his credit. Number 2, now, people know I love Devin Haney as a fighter, but Devin Haney is number 2 on this list, and I don't know how. I'm gonna tell you, keep it real. He's number 2, you know what I'm saying, with a record of 31-1 0-1, and we know that one is a no contest because of Ryan Garcia having something in his system. So, I definitely I definitely feel some type of way about that. But at the end of the day, I'm a Devin Haney fan. I can't be mad, that Devin Haney is ranked up there, But should he be ranked that high? I don't know about that, I think Devin Haney definitely, this fight with Ramirez coming up, give him a chance to, you know, prove that he's still one of the elite, and I think he's one of the elite fighters. I definitely think he's one of the elite fighters. I think Devin Haney, man, is gonna go down as an all-time great. You ask me, that's just how good he is. But a lot of times, we got to be prisoners of the moment, like I said before. So, let's see what happens. Let's see if Devin Haney is still, still one of the best. One second, I'm talking to Mr. Timothy Bradley. Now, like I was saying, let me get this out the way, man. Devin Haney, being ranked number 2, to me, should Devin Haney be ranked number 2? His next fight is May 2nd as well. He has Jose Ramirez. That's gonna be a great fight. It's a great comeback fight, and this is the reason I love that fight. Devin Haney. One thing about him, you can say whatever you want to say about Devin Haney. Devin Haney, man, ain't backing down for no competition. Devin Haney, man, is he could have took anybody. Devin Haney could have fought anybody, but he chose Ramirez, and I think it's a good fight. I don't think Jose is still the same fighter he once was, but he's still a really good fighter. And I really want to see what Devin Haney brings to the table. And this fight right here will tell me a lot. I think Devin Haney after the fight, should go ahead and rematch, Ryan Garcia. I definitely want to see him and Ryan Garcia right after this fight. I think Devin Haney has a lot to prove. I want Devin Haney to go back in there and do something different. I don't know what Bill Haney was thinking. I'm going to keep it 100. What was Bill Haney thinking when he told Devin Haney to go out there and brawl? I know what they were trying to do. Bill Haney wanted Devin Haney to go out there and get Ryan Garcia out of there, and they were trying to compete with Tank. That's not who Devin Haney is. Devin Haney is a boxer, and he's a real good boxer. And if you go back and look at that fight, man, this is just me personally. If you go back and look at the fight, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, the rounds that Devin Haney wasn't getting knocked down in, it was a real competitive fight. I've looked at that fight 4 times, and I wanted to go back and see, okay, did he just dog walk Devin Haney like everybody say, or is there anything Devin Haney can take away from that fight and say, hey, man, I can beat this guy? And when Devin Haney was boxing, Devin Haney was winning that fight. But Devin Haney, for some reason, wanted to be a brawler. And I think after he got knocked down the first time, really, his equilibrium wasn't right. Devin Haney wasn't the same fighter. You understand what I'm saying? But we're going to see what happens. One thing about Turkey Al-Sheikh got these fights going, man. He got everything going in the right direction. And, I feel like this. I feel like Devin Haney will redeem himself. A lot of people saying the styles make fights. Devin ain't going to never be able to beat Ryan Garcia. I don't believe that. I believe that Devin has the tools and everything it takes to definitely beat Ryan Garcia. Number 3 on the list, at 140 pounds, man, like I'm saying, I'm going through this list and showing you everybody that they got in front of Gary Antuanne Russell. 1, Teofimo Lopez, 2, Devin Haney. T.O., I can agree with the T.O. situation. Like I said, I'm a Devin Haney fan. But do I, think he should be ranked number 2 right now? I don't really know. I don't know about that. Honor Barboza Jr. is number 3. His previous ranking now was 8. He moved from number 8 all the way up to number 3. That's a big jump, man. That's a real big jump. Do I think Honor Barboza is better than Gary Antuanne Russell? No, I don't. He's definitely not, man. I think Honor Barboza, like I said, is a really good fighter. But I don't see him beating Gary Antuanne Russell. I'm just going to keep it real. Now, number 4, this is the fight, Alberto Pulo, however you say his name. Sometimes I have trouble pronouncing it. What's good, man, Free? I know you busy. I know you at work. If you went at work, I'll tell you come on stage with me, man. But I know you at work and you probably ain't got time because I want to ask you a few things, man. Now, at number 4, Alberto, is ranked number 4. We know that the fight Gary Antuanne Russell lost. And I will say this about that fight. You know what I'm saying? 1 second, y'all. Let me pull my brother up on stage. Oh, yeah. I forgot Free head. You retired. You pay. And what I'm going over the list. I look at the rankings this morning. I think the rankings at 140 pounds. I didn't like what I seen, and since you're here now, man, you are the expert. I'm gonna break now. Teofimo Lopez is ranked number one at 140 pounds. I don't really have a problem with that. Devin Haney, you know I like Devin Haney. He's number two. What do you think about those first two?
Far as where they ranked that, or far as the
This is
fighter?
the junior. This is junior welterweight. Teofimo Lopez ranked number one as his previous ranking. We know his last win was a unanimous decision against Steve Claggett. His next fight is May 2nd against Honor Barbosa. Now David Haney is 31, 0-1. You know that with no that last one being no contest. His next fight is May 2nd also with Jose Ramirez. So what do you think about these rankings and as far as those two being one and two?
Um, I think they're supposed to be one and two. To's supposed to be number one. He has the
Yeah.
linear title. He beat the number one guy at junior welterweight. Um, Devin beat the second ranked guy at junior welterweight. Although they had Regis ranked number one, I didn't agree with that because um, Josh Taylor was the linear champion. So they should be one and two. So I have no problem with the ranking. Now I think they're going to eventually move Devin out of that second spot because he's moving up to welterweight. I'm not. I don't think To's moving up to welterweight. I think he's going to stay at 140 because he's fighting Aaron Barbosa. So I think he's going to stay at 140. But Devin is going to move out of that second spot, and they probably end up putting Richardson Hitchens at that second spot, and they probably, depending on when they do the ranking, Richardson Hitchens probably going to get that number two spot, and if they have the rematch between Alberto and Gary Antuanne, depending on the winner of that fight, will be the number three champion. Actually, they could very well jump over Richardson Hitchens because they will be the unified title holder at that time.
Definitely. Now, I'm glad that some of the names you brought up because at number three is Honor Barbosa and number four is Alberto. So that's how they get it right now. They're 3 and 4. Uh, what do you think about that? Do you think that those guys are in the right spot?
Um, I think they gave Aaron Barbosa the benefit of the doubt. He
Yeah.
hasn't lost. Alberto Puyo, yeah, he came off the win over Jack Catterall. Was it Jack Catterall that he fought? No,
No,
Sergio
just
Martinez. Sergio Martinez.
no. Barbosa just beat. You're right. He just last win was against
Yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Catterall.
Jack Catterall. Yeah, Aaron Barbosa beat Jack Catterall. So he's number three, even though he doesn't have a title, because you got to think about it. Gary Antuanne took a loss to Alberto Puyo, and he beat Rayo for the belt this past Saturday. Um, and Alberto, he beat Gary Antuanne, and he's the WBA champion. But Aaron Barbosa has been fighting the top level competition at that weight class, as far as the top 10 opponents at that weight class for the last couple of years. Alberto Puyo, he just fought a top 10 opponent when he fought Gary Antoine, and then he turned around and followed it up with Sandor Martin. Antoine, like I said, he took a loss, so he should be down. But I think after this fight with Tio, I think Alberto and Antoine is going to jump into the top four spots.
Mm, okay. And then at number 5 is Richardson Hitchens, and at number 6 is Gary Antoine Russell. Now, his previous rank, Gary Antoine wasn't in the top
Who
10.
they got
I
number
don't.
four? Who they got number four?
Alberto is number 4, Richardson
Okay.
Hitchens is number 5, and Gary Antoine Russell is number 6. Now, his previous, I don't know how they didn't have him ranked. This is my personal opinion. They didn't have Gary Antoine in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? From previous ranking. So he moved up to number 6. You know what I'm saying? With his win over Jose Valenzuela. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way they had it. Uh, how do you feel about Alberto at number 4, Hitchens at number 5, and Gary at number 6?
I don't think Alberto should be number 4.
Yeah.
I think Richardson Hitchens need to be ranked higher than him. Um, just look at the level of opponents that each one of them face. I think Richardson Hitchens should be ranked higher than him. He had his belt before Alberto got his belt, so he should be ranked higher. Alberto, I mean, I don't mind him being ranked in the top 4, but I don't think he should be ranked higher than Richardson Hitchens.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with that. And like I said, we got Gary at 6, and he's coming in to being he wasn't ranked. But at number 7, we have Jack Catterall, and number 8 we have Liam Pyro.
Both of them ranked where they're supposed to be. Both of them are ranked where they're supposed to be.
So you cool with that
They
ranker right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
they both took losses, so they're ranked where they're supposed to be at. I just think when you got Alberto, I mean not Alberto, but you got Devin Haney in there and you got Aaron Barbosa. That's what's messing up the top 4 spots. I think when they move Devin Haney out, that's going to open up the number 2 spot. And I think if the winner of Arna Barbosa and Tio will be either number 1. Well, the winner of Alberto, I mean, Aaron Barbosa and Tio will be number 1, and the loser will probably be moved down to number 5. I think they will have all of the champions at the top 4 spots.
Okay. And I agree with that. And number 9 is Cerebral Matias, and then number 10 is Sandor Martin.
I have no problem with either one of those neither because I mean, although Matias just came off a win, um, he took a loss to Alberto. I mean to Liam Powell. So I can't have him ranked higher than Liam Powell because Liam Powell beat him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let me ask you a question though. This is a fight nobody probably ain't even thinking about. If Sandor Martin and Cerebral Matias fight, who do you favor in that fight?
Matias. I favor Matias because of his knockout power. Sandor Martin, he doesn't move enough. He likes
Yeah.
later in since he's been fighting as of late. He likes to stand right in front of his opponent. If you go back and look at the Alberto Puyo fight, he's still right in front of Alberto. He didn't do a lot of movement. With a guy like Matias who has knockout power, if you can't hurt Matias, he's just going to walk you down. And
Yeah.
that's the problem that Matias had. The 2 losses that he took was from guys that was able to hurt him. Well, one guy was able to hurt him. The other guy was able to outbox him.
Mm-hmm.
Liam Powell moved around and outboxed him. He didn't stand right in front of Matias. So that's the only way I see you able to beat Matias. You either got to be able to hurt him or you got to outbox him.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. But do you think Sandor Martin, as far as boxing, his skill level is on par with Liam Pyro? When you think about those guys as boxers,
I think Sandor Martin, he's seasoned enough to be on par with Liam Powell. The problem is he doesn't move enough. He likes to stand in front of his opponent. And like I said, with Matias, if you don't move and you give him a standing target, he's gonna land that big shot at some point. He's gonna land a big shot. With Martin not being able to or not or choosing not to move around and you just standing there and trying to fight fire with fire, you don't want to do that with a guy like Matias.
yeah,
Matias is that guy. He wants you to fight fire with fire because he believes that his power is bigger than everybody else. So if he feel that at any given point he's going to land that big shot, so I don't think that that's a fight that Sandor Martin will win because I think at some point it's going to be a firefight and he's going to get caught. Even with the Alberto, he got caught with some big shot, and Alberto is not a big puncher, but those shots that Alberto was catching him with, if that was Matias, Sandor Martin might be getting up off the canvas.
Yeah, yeah. I think he would be getting up off the canvas. He can't stand in front of Cerebral Matias like that, and that's one thing for sure. And the name that we definitely seen is not in the 140 pound. BVO is in the building and talking about I tried to steal his car sounds or something. I mean, that's something crazy to say. But I know that Ryan Garcia is not in the 140 pounds. We know he moved up to 147. So I'm scrolling up. I just would like to see if he even ranked, you know what I'm saying? In
No,
in
he's
the
not ranked at he's not ranked at 147 or 140. He's not ranked at neither one of them.
You're right, yeah. Cause I'm looking. We know they got Jerron Boots Ennis is number one. They got Stanley is number two. Brian Norman Jr. number three, and Mario Barrios number four. And all four of those guys are champions at 147 pounds. Then
And
you
all
go
four of
down,
them,
Connor Bean.
all no, I was gonna say
Go ahead.
all four of those guys are ranked where they supposed to be ranked at. I see Boots as number one. I see Stanley Owners as number two, and it's a toss up between Mario Barrio and Brian Norman. But I favor Brian Norman over Mario Barrio. I think he'll stop Mario Barrio.
I do too. What about Connor Bean? Do Connor Bean's number think he can beat any one of those the top four?
Do I think he can beat any one of those? Um,
If you favored
I
him
have.
any one of the champions,
If I favor him against any one of the champions, it will probably be Mario Barrio. Um,
yeah.
Only because Mario Barrio is not a slick boxer. He doesn't have the greatest power. Um, and he doesn't move a lot. And so e- even though, like I said, since Conor Ben came back off of his suspension from the PEDs, he hasn't shown that power. But that could be because he was fighting at a bigger weight class. Maybe that power didn't translate up to 54. But I don't know if Conor Ben is going to come back down to
Buzz.
47. But if I had to pick, if I had to choose any one of the champions at 47, who I think Conor Ben has a favorable chance of winning against, it will be Mario Barrio. I think Brian Norman is too much of a dog for him. I think Stanionis is too much of a dog, and I think Boots is too slick for him.
Definitely, definitely. I feel the same way. I think Mario Barrios is on borrowed time. Salute to my cousin Ben Sanders in the building, and BBO says nobody can beat my guy Russell. Definitely at 140 pounds, I think I favor Antoine over anybody at 140 pounds right now. That's
Yeah,
just how I feel about it, man. I don't think nobody at 140 pounds beats him from what we've seen. Man, he's special. And I've been saying it
yeah.
for a long time. He's special, man. And now he's getting an
As long
opportunity to prove it.
Well, what I will say is, as long as we get that version of Antoine that we saw on Saturday, I don't
Yeah.
think nobody beats him. If we see the version that fought Alberto, or the version that fought what was the other guy that almost beat him?
Oh, I know you're talking about. You talking about the light? Hold on, the light skinned guy. Are you talking about him? The guy he fought
Uh,
before
no,
that
no, no,
fight.
not Kent Cruz. Kent Cruz, he stopped him in I think one round. It's the other guy right before Kent Cruz.
Oh, I can't think of his name.
Bathotomy. Bathotomy.
Bathotomy. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
if we get those two versions, I think one of the champions can beat him. But if I mean, I think somebody at 140 can beat him. But if we get the version that we seen on Saturday, I don't think nobody at 140 beats that version.
I agree, and my Ben Sanders said Gary Antuanne Russell can't be beat at 140, and we definitely agree with you on that. Cause I feel like I wonder how long Gary Antoine gonna stay at 140. He's like he a big 140 to me. He's strong, physical. How long do you think that he's gonna be able to campaign at 140 pounds?
I think he'll be at 140 pounds for at least another 2 or 3 years because he's never weighed in at 140. He's always
Right,
came in under 140.
138. Yeah, well, he weighed
Yeah,
in 138 a lot. You're
well,
right
yeah,
about that. He
he
makes it
always
easy.
come in under 140. So I think he's not struggling to make that weight. And like if you ever seen Antoine in person, he's not a big guy. He's muscular, but
Yeah.
he's not a big guy. And so I think he'll be at 140 for at least another 2 or 3 years before he moves up to 47.
So another 3 years if everything goes right. You think do you give him a real shot at having a chance to become undisputed?
Yeah, as long as the other champions want to fight him, I think he has a serious shot of becoming undisputed. But we got to have these other guys wanting to fight him.
Mm. I think Alberto is the fight that he wants. I think it's the fight the fans want, and I don't want to make excuses for him. Free. I don't think we have to, but I still feel like that he wasn't himself in that fight due to everything was going on. That's just my thinking. I could be wrong. I think you saying that he wasn't himself in that fight because of his situation with his father and everything. I want to see that fight. I want him to run it back ASAP.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think it was anything wrong with him. I think it was more so the ring rust and exactly what he said. He didn't listen to the corner. He
Yeah,
started to do his own thing. He felt like he had enough rounds in the bag, and he started to do his own thing. I think that was the only problem. A part of it was the ring rust because he was out of the ring for I think almost a year, or maybe might have been longer than a year because he only
I thought it
had
was
one
I
fight.
thought it was
He,
13 months.
yeah, he had one fight with Kent Cruz, and he stopped him in one round, and he didn't have another fight after that. And so the ring rust, and because prior to that, he didn't fight for. He had one fight with Bartholomew, and he didn't have another fight until he got the Kent Cruz fight, and that was only for one round. So it was you might as well say he was out of the ring for almost 2 years because that was only one round. So you might as well say he was out of the ring for 2 years. It was ring rust, and then he started to do his own thing and not follow the instructions of his brother. So that was the only thing. That's why I said if he goes back and rematch Alberto, he's going to stop Alberto.
Yeah, hey, I believe he stops him. And Ben Sanders said, I think he's the best of the Russell brothers. What do you think about that? That's your family. You know what I'm saying? You know him. What do you think?
I think he can be the best. I don't think he is the best right now. He has all of the tools to be the best, but he has to have the discipline and the mindset to be the best because that's one thing that we could say about Mr. Gurry. He was disciplined and his mind was always focused on his opponent. He never let his opponent get the advantage far as being more prepared than he was. So Antoine has the tools to be the best. He has the physical capabilities of being the best, but he has to make sure that he stay focused and he put 100% into every fight that he goes in and fight because you got to remember Mr. Gurry held onto his belt for 6 years, 2 weeks away from being 7 years. So you got to be a focused individual of holding onto your belt for almost 7 years. I don't care if you only fight once a year. That's
Yeah.
even more of a reason why you say that this man was focused. He was only fighting once a year, and he kept that belt for almost 7 years.
Do you think though? Now something else that Ben Sanders just said that he touched on that a lot of people don't know. He said we know Antoine is an intelligent fighter, but what people don't know, and as a person, he was a valedictorian. This
Yeah.
guy, he's very smart, very intelligent,
Mm.
book sense, and everything. So man, he has it all. He has the tools to do great things even outside of the ring. It just
Yeah.
tells you what type of individual he is.
I mean, the intelligence run deep in this blood. This
Yeah,
blood here, the intelligence run deep
yeah.
because
BVO
I
ain't gonna. Hey,
wasn't
BVO not
a
gonna like that. BVO not gonna like
I
it.
I wasn't a dumb individual in school. Like my GPA was 386. My
Yeah,
sister and my brother, they hit the honor rolls. My kids, I got a son right now that's in college. He's on the dean list every single year. So
salute to him.
this blood is a definitely an intelligent blood, but it's because of the upbringing. The upbringing we always focus on what was important.
That's real, man. Salute to that, man. Uh, We looking at now. I'm just going through the breezes and going through some of these weight classes. At 154, Terrence Bud Crawford is ranked number one, followed by Sebastian Fandor. Virgil Ortiz is number three, and what's his name? Baccaram is at number four. Do you have any problem with any of those rankings?
Yes, I don't think Bud should be ranked number 4. I think Bud should be ranked number 2.
No, Bud's number one. Bud, I'm sorry,
I
Bud
know,
Crawford.
I
Oh, you
know.
said you
I
be
don't
number
think.
two.
I think he should be number 2. I don't think he should be number 1. I think he
Yeah,
should be number 2.
I think I kind of agree with that. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I kind of agree with that. And Ben Sanders say he's definitely a fan now, man. Me too. I've been a fan of him, but I'm definitely a super fan now, man, of Antoine, man. But who do you put in front of Bud if you're looking at the rankings? Virgil.
I got, like I said, I got Fandora number 1.
Okay.
I got Bud number 2. Um, I got Bakram number 3, and number 4, I would say Virgil number 4.
Mm. They got Israel now ranked at number five. What do you think about that? Tim Zoo dropped all the way
Uh,
to seventh.
yeah. Well, I could see Magnum being number 5 because Tim Zoo he took a bad beating to Fandor, and then he got knocked out in 2 rounds against Batnaron. That's why they dropped him out completely because he got beat up bad. So I could see Tim Zoo dropping. You take 2 bad losses back to back. Like, even though Magnum took 2 losses, they wasn't bad losses. Now
Yeah,
the Virgil loss, yeah, he got beat convincingly, but there's an argument. A lot of people believe that it was around here, around there, and it could have been a draw, or Magnum could have won against Terrence Crawford.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people believe that. Let me ask you this: do you think it's a thing with Turns going up in weight and is catching up with him now, or do you believe that Terrence Crawford age and Father Time, which is undefeated, is catching up with him?
I think it's a little bit of both. Um, the age is definitely catching up to him. He's 37 years old. Um, and then, or he will be 37. I'm not
He
sure if he's
thirty. He
37.
37. He 37.
Yeah,
You right?
37 years old. So the age definitely is catching up to him. But also, when you move up weight, um, that's catching up to him as well because Terrence Crawford started off at 135,
Yep.
and then he moved all the way up to 54. He's
Hmm.
not a real big guy. He's not a real big guy now. He can put on weight. Anybody can put on weight, but to be naturally a big guy, that's not him. He's not naturally a big guy. You
He's
can
not
you can pack on muscles. You can pack on weight, but the one thing that the muscle and the weight do is slows you down, and
definitely.
that muscle is gonna eat up a lot of your oxygen. You're gonna need to be able to feed those muscles with oxygen. So it's gonna fatigue him in fights like the Canelo fight. We're
Oh,
gonna see something from Terrence Crawford that we probably never seen. He very well could go out there and surprise everybody and outbox Canelo. I think we're going to see similar to what we saw in the manual. He's going to look rusty. He's going to look old, and we're going to see a real competitive fight early on, and we're going to see Terrence Crawford get hit with shots that we're not familiar with him getting hit with. And with a guy
definitely.
like Canelo, you getting hit with those type of shots, it could end your night early.
Man, I'm listen. People got to tell the truth, and a lot of people don't want to tell the truth. And I'm just gonna say what a lot of people don't want to say. A lot of the people that are picking Bud Crawford to win that fight are picking Bud because we're either the same color or they hate Canelo. I'm just gonna say what people need, what needs to be said. Canelo Alvarez, listen, at the end of the day, he's the king at 168 pounds. Bud Crawford already looked bad at 154. Like Free said, Father Time is catching up with him. He's not gonna travel to 168, in my humble opinion, and go up there and deal with what Canelo Alvarez brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? Ben Sanders said Canelo gonna retire Terrence Crawford. BVO said Virgil stops Bud. both of those things could be true at this time of day. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I lean more towards him not making it to Virgil. I think Canelo, the buck stops there. I believe this is Bud's last fight.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we
go ahead.
go if we go based off the last fight, I can't argue what BBO said
Right.
because Virgil looked he definitely beat Magnum way better than
He
Bud
did.
did. He looked a
He did.
lot better than Bud did. So if we going off based off the last fight, I can't argue that. Now what I will say is I think Bud has a better ring IQ than Virgil. So
Oh,
if
definitely.
that fight might look a lot different when they get in the ring. But based off of what we've seen their last two fights against the same opponent, most people would say, you know what, I think Virgil might beat Bud. But a
And
lot of the boxing diehards would say, nah, it's levels to this. You got to think about the ring IQ. Those two different fighters. They fought a different style when they well Magnaball fought a different style when he fought Bud and when he fought Virgil. So it's a lot going into it.
definitely. But let me say this right here though, Free. When I'm thinking about those fights and I'm looking back at Bud and I'm comparing to Virgil, like you said, Virgil has always been the bigger man. You know what I'm saying? Virgil is
Mhm.
naturally, I mean, Virgil could probably fight at 160 right now. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying? He's always naturally. We know that he struggled life and death with making 147 pounds. So we are. That's the one thing you can take into account and say, well, maybe he adjusted better. You know what I'm saying? At 154, maybe Bud needs time to get his feet wet, which we know he ain't got time. He's already
Mhm.
37, like we said. So father time is not on his side when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to IQ, I 100% agree with you. I think IQ, Bud Crawford is second to none. But the problem is, I think people sleep on Canelo Alvarez's IQ. He don't get the credit for his IQ that he deserves. I mean, do you think people kind of sleep on that, and that's why they think Bud? Some of them think Bud's gonna be able to go in there and do what he do against Canelo.
Yeah, I think a lot of people sleeps on Canelo's ring IQ because they used to seeing Canelo just having upper body movement and being able to beat up his opponent for 12 rounds until they wear down and he takes them out or he wins by unanimous decision. But
Right.
it's it's part of his ring IQ what he does. He wears his opponent down and he realized I can't engage as much as I want to early on because I want to wait till my opponent slows down. Once my
Mm-hmm.
opponent slows down, then I can start to step up the action. So that's part of your ring IQ, knowing your body, knowing what you're able to do, and not put yourself in a bad position. But also the thing is, Canelo knows, okay, if I continue to hit him to the hip or hit him to the body, he's not going to be able to move as much. He's moving now, but one or two shots here every single round for about 5 or 6 rounds, eventually that body's going to say, okay, you know what? I don't feel like moving right now. I'm going to stand right here for a little while longer and then I'll move. So
Yeah.
Canelo has a high ring IQ. It's just a matter of can you outbox him? If you can outbox him, it doesn't matter what his ring IQ is. He can't catch up to you because Canelo don't have the fastest feet. He's
No.
he's not a boxer, so he's not going to box with you. He's just going to come at you and make you exhaust your energy. That's one thing that he will do. He will come at you and make you exhaust your energy. And so in the later rounds, if he still has his energy, now he can tee off on you. And I think that's what he's going to do to Bud because I think Bud is going to move a little bit more than what we normally see him does. I think it's going to be the um similar to the Earl Spence fight. He's gonna try to use his jab and move a little bit, but the difference with Bud and Earl, I mean with Canelo and Earl is Canelo is the bigger guy going into the ring. Bud got a chance to get acclimated at 47 by the time he fought Earl. He don't
Yeah.
have no time to get acclimated at 68. You're going
Nope.
right into your first match at 68. And we saw that when he went into his first match at 54. You didn't get acclimated and you was a little rusty because you was out of the ring for over a year. You're a little rusty. You're about to do the same thing with Canelo. The last fight you had was in August. You're not fighting Canelo until September. So you're going to be out the ring for another year. You're getting older, and you're adding more weight to that older body.
Yep.
Is a recipe for disaster.
Yep. What's good, bro? BVO, my brother in the building. Our brother in the building. What's good? I don't know if is he on stage or
Hey
not.
man, I seen my man Beanie Free out there dropping some knowledge. I don't
Yeah,
know where that guy's been. I've been looking for him.
he
But
dropping it,
that's the
boy.
free I like.
He
That's the
dropping
free
it.
I like. He
He
actually up there
dropping
telling the truth, man. I was shocked.
it. What'd you say? Hey, BVO. He dropping that knowledge, man. He coming with it this morning. I love
Yeah, we be on with me, man. You know, he want a down Virgil, but he get up there with you, he tell the truth, man. I love it.
it. What do you think, BVO? You think everything we saying is basically with this Canelo and Terrence Bud Crawford situation is how it's gonna play out? He in trouble,
Hey, it's like Mike Tyson said before, man. He gonna F that dude up. Canelo's gonna
yeah,
F that dude up. Cause you
man.
know what I think?
Yeah,
I think Canelo is tired of hearing that David Benavidez talk. So he's going to smash Crawford just so he can say what you got to say now. Because
yeah,
if
he
he
gonna smash
smashed
him.
Crawford, man, he's the best since Floyd left, hands down,
I
hands
mean,
down.
you got to think about it.
But
But Canelo fighting Bud and beating Bud is probably the closest that Canelo will ever get to beating Floyd Mayweather. So he's going to take full advantage of it. That's probably going to be the closest that he will ever get to beating Floyd Mayweather because he fought Floyd Mayweather early in his career. He was 23 years old. Even though he had more fights um than Floyd Mayweather, it wasn't of the level that Floyd
no,
had fought at. And so he got in there, and Floyd just clearly outclassed him. And so he's always wanted that rematch back. But Floyd was much older, and he ended up retiring. So this is probably the closest thing that he will ever get to beating Floyd because everybody wants to seem to compare Bud to Floyd now because of what Bud did to Earl, and now that he was a two division undisputed champion, they want to try to act like he's the best fighter of this era. Now, I wouldn't say he's the best fighter of this era because
I
even though
agree
yeah
with
he's a two division undisputed champion, he might have the most accolades of this era, but Canelo still fought better competition than Bud did. They part of the same era.
you. Yeah, way better competition.
I'll
Way
say
better
this though,
competition.
man. It's been a lot of Floyd slander out there. Just so people know, Floyd beats Crawford easy. I want to get that out
I
there
believe. Hey,
because I don't know what people's talking about. Oh yeah, Floyd. This y'all seen Tank? He ain't no Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, you gotta let the fact that he's a cornball go. Floyd was that guy in every sense of the word, man.
yeah, he
Just
was.
was.
He
He
was,
just
man.
was. He
Hey,
just
and look,
was, man.
BBO,
Because
BBO.
you
Let
know
me
it's
ask you
so
this.
funny. He was if it was Floyd, he would have been fought Benavidez.
That's that's what I said when me and
Yeah,
BBO had that debate on Sugar Ray Leonard versus Floyd Mayweather. I'm sitting there looking at Floyd Mayweather because I'm doing my research for the debate, and I'm looking at Floyd Mayweather resume, and I'm like, dog, this man might have the best resume I have ever seen in boxing.
well, I think he do. Free. If you think about it, we keep being honest. Listen, I've compared Muhammad Ali's and Muhammad Ali fought, I think, 8 to 10 Hall of Famers. Like, and he fought them, multiple times. So when I compared resumes, I put him and Ali up there. Man, those resumes, man, are untouched. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
No,
Floyd and what they done. Just being honest with you, what they done in the ring. But what I was gonna ask y'all is this: I think, tell me if I'm wrong. I seen 3 people that I've seen Canelo get outboxed against, really outboxed. That was to me, I feel like Laura outboxed him, Duval, and Floyd. Those are the 3 people that I say outboxed him. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
had an answer for him. You know what I'm saying? Now,
yeah,
with that being said, I keep telling people, Terrence Bud Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they try to spin it. You know what I'm saying? I look at his career. I'm trying to see do Terrence Bud Crawford even got a Diego Corrales on his resume in my
no,
mind. You know what I'm
no,
saying? I'm just thinking of what Floyd done. People really sleep on what Floyd has done, man. Castile, you can go down. Manny Pacquiao, you can go through the list of who
no.
Floyd fought.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'm gonna put it to you this way. Outside of Earl Spence and Sean Porter,
But G,
nobody on Bud's resume even compared to Arturo Gotti.
Yeah. That's saying, and man, that's just being real. But people
Nobody
don't want to hear
compares
that.
to Arturo Gotti outside of Earl Spence and Arturo Gotti. I mean, outside of Earl Spence and Sean Porter, nobody on his resume even compares to Arturo Gotti. Amir Khan is not no Arturo Gotti. Even Kell Brook is not Arturo Gotti. Kell Brook was a nice fighter in his prime,
Yeah.
but when when Bud fought him, he was nowhere near that level of a fighter.
No, he wasn't. He wouldn't. And Earl
And
Spence got a better version of, in my humble opinion, I think Kell Brook was better when Earl Spence fought him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
Even
mean,
though he
yeah,
had the Triple G fight, but he was a better fighter.
yeah,
I think Bud has had the easiest. I hate to say this, and I ain't taking from his accomplishments or anything, and I'm not a Bud hater. I think Bud is an all-time great. So let's get that out there. But I think he had the easiest route to being a two-time undisputed world champion. I mean, if you look at who he had to face to get the belts coming up, he's a talented guy. I can't
yeah.
see him competing with Floyd or nothing like that. Though I can't see that.
Nah, I mean, in order for you to put him on a level of a Floyd Mayweather, Earl Spence would have to go back down to 47, beat all those guys, all those top guys at 47, and beat all the top guys at 54 to even try to compare him to a Floyd Mayweather. Like Floyd literally beat the best guy in every division he's ever been in. He's beat the best guy in every division he's ever in.
Man, let
So
me ask you a
I
question. Do y'all think that he beats Manny Pacquiao? I think did Manny Pacquiao go from 130 to 147? Did he jump 140 or did he stop at 140? I'm trying to remember.
No, he fought at 140. But
Okay.
it wasn't for a long period of time. I think he fought like one or two fights at 140. Then he went to 47. Because
When Manny
I
was
was
on his
looking at Manny
run,
Pacquiao the other day.
yeah, when he was
A
on
matter
that
of fact,
run,
let me pull him up right
do you
now.
think do you think Bud when Manny was on that run, how do you think that fight would have played out? I'm talking about when he was at his peak, when he was destroying people.
Um, if Bud would have fought Manny when he first came to 47, I think Bud gets beat.
Me too. Me
I
too.
think I think if Bud would have fought Manny when Manny signed the contract,
Yeah.
I think Bud would have beat him. I don't know why Bud didn't take that fight because the contract was signed by
Yeah.
Manny. All they was waiting on was Bud to sign his portion of the contract. And
Right.
for whatever reason, Bomac told him not to. And he was saying something about the money wasn't there or whatever, or he was waiting to see if the money was going to be there. But I'm like, you dealing with a eight division, quote unquote, eight division champion and a person who dealt in some of the biggest fights of boxing history, as far as number wise. You think Manny Pacquiao is going to sign a fight and the money's not there? No, he knows that the money's there.
Money
He's
got to
gonna
be
sit
there.
there and fight you. Like Manny, I'm looking at Manny's resume now. Yeah, Manny
Look at
fought at well, no, he did skip over 40 because
I thought he did.
he went from David Diaz at 135 and he fought Oscar De La Hoya right after that in 2008. Oscar De La Hoya was at 145 and Manny weighed in at 142. So I think that was
Yeah.
at 47.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
That
was
was
at
47.
47. Yeah,
Yep.
he
You're
did.
right. And that's
Oh
what I
no,
was
no,
thinking.
he came back down though. After that fight with Oscar, he came down. I thought I saw him fight at 40 before. He came down right after Oscar and fought Ricky Hatton at 140.
Sure did. Yeah, he did fight
He
Ricky
fought
Hatton at
Ricky Hatton at
140.
140. I
He
thought I
went back
saw
and
him fight at
fought.
140 for one fight. Yeah, the
Okay.
Ricky Hatton
I
fight
knew
was
he
at
had jumped.
140.
I knew he had jumped over the 140, and when he fought Oscar, I was thinking about. I can't remember who Jesse was, but I knew he had
Yeah,
jumped 140 and went up, and he did go back down. But yeah, I think that version, the younger version of Manny Pacquiao, I think you know what I'm saying. It would have been hard for me to see Bud beating him. You know what I'm saying. I couldn't imagine it, man. And back then, Manny was a different type of animal. You know what I'm saying. He was just different. And Floyd and him, what people say like Manny Pacquiao, I think is a year younger than Floyd. But if you go back and look at Manny's
2 years
career,
younger than
2
Floyd.
years, Manny
Yeah,
had some wars. You know, his body, Floyd took care of his body. I ain't gonna say Manny didn't take care of his body, but he was in just a bunch of wars with Morales, Barrera,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, Marquez. Those fights took a big toll on Manny Pacquiao.
yeah. Yeah, Manny's 2 years younger than Floyd, but the difference is, and when Floyd moved up to welterweight, Floyd fought a different style. He became the Money Mayweather, and he was more of a defensive fighter instead of the fighter that took a lot of chances because his hands was brittle, and so he couldn't punch with the same velocity that he did at the smaller weight. So he became more of a defensive fighter and not take shots. Manny still fought the same way he's always fought his entire career. And
Yeah,
that causes for Manny to get knocked out. That causes for Manny to get beat up in a lot of his fights that he had.
definitely, definitely. Man, well, we're about to end this. I appreciate the time. I appreciate my brother coming through. Y'all know what we do, man. This is CDK and D Free. You know what it is, Sports Talk Nation. What's good, Free? Take us out.
All right, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight. We got a nice show going on tonight. We're gonna talk about Antuanne Russell. We're gonna get into the May 2nd fight and the Jerome Boots Ennis fight that's coming up on April 12th. And we'll holler at y'all at 8 o'clock.
Peace.
Peace.